Ever noticed how the weakest characters sometimes become the most terrifying? Not the strongest, not the most talented, the weakest. The ones who get ignored, mocked, broken down over and over again. Because when those people finally snap, when they're pushed so far that there's nothing left to lose, what comes out isn't just strength. It's something darker, something raw, uncontrolled, almost inhuman. And that's what makes these moments so unforgettable. Because it's not just a power-up, it's a transformation that changes who they are. Today, we're diving into 5 anime heroes who started at the very bottom and unleashed something monstrous when it mattered most. And trust me, by the time we reach number 1, you'll see a transformation that's not just powerful, it's honestly a little scary.
お前は僕が嫌いだよな。僕も僕が嫌いだ。
Number 5. Atsushi Nakajima, Bungo Stray Dogs. Atsushi's story doesn't begin with hope. It begins with rejection. He's thrown out of an orphanage, left alone with nothing. No money, no food, no one to rely on. And the worst part? He believes he deserves it, that he's worthless, that the world would be better off without him. So when we first meet him, he's not a hero. He's just trying to survive. But there's something strange happening around him. A mysterious white tiger appears, causing destruction wherever it goes, and Atsushi is terrified of it. He thinks it's hunting him. But the truth? The tiger is him. His ability, Beast Beneath the Moonlight, turns him into a powerful white tiger with insane speed, strength, and regeneration. Sounds cool, right? Not for him, because at the start, he has zero control. He blacks out, loses himself, wakes up with no idea what he's done. That's what makes it scary. It's not just power, it's power without identity. But slowly, as he joins the armed detective agency, something begins to change. For the first time in his life, people believe in him. And instead of rejecting the monster inside him, he starts learning to live with it, control it, use it. By the time he steps into real battles, he's no longer running away. He's still scared, still unsure, but now he fights anyway. And that's what makes his transformation powerful. Not that he became a monster, but that he chose to use it to protect others.
Number 4. Zenitsu Agatsuma from Demon Slayer. Zenitsu is the kind of character that makes you question everything. Like, how did this guy even pass the exam? He's constantly crying, begging, running away from danger. Every fight feels like it's going to be his last, and honestly, he thinks so too. He doesn't believe in himself, not even a little. But here's where things get interesting. When Zenitsu gets overwhelmed with fear, when his body literally can't handle it anymore, he passes out. And in that moment, everything changes. The screaming stops, the fear disappears, and what's left is something completely different. A calm, focused swordsman. His breathing slows, his movements sharpen, and then thunder-breathing first form. In an instant, he vanishes. What follows is a flash, fast, precise, and deadly. By the time you realize what happened, the fight is already over. That's the real Zenitsu, the one who trained endlessly, the one who mastered a single move to perfection. But he can't access it while he's awake because his fear holds him back. It's only when his mind shuts down that his true strength takes over. And maybe that's what makes his transformation so interesting, because the monster inside him isn't something evil. It's the version of himself he's too afraid to become.
全て嘘だったんじゃないかと思えるくらい腹の底から出た本音ぶっ殺してやる
Number 3. Yuji Itadori, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji's story is different.
He didn't train for power. He didn't inherit it. He made a choice, a desperate one. When his friends are in danger and there's no one else to save them, Yuji does something no normal person would ever consider. He eats a cursed object, a finger. Not just any finger, but one belonging to Ryomen Sukuna, the king of curses. A being so powerful, so feared, that even other curses don't compare. And just like that, Yuji's life is no longer his own. Instead of dying, his body becomes a vessel, a prison for something far worse than anything he'll ever face. At first, it seems like he can control it, but that illusion doesn't last, because when Sukuna takes over, it's not heroic, it's horrifying. His voice changes, his expression shifts, and suddenly there's no humanity left. No hesitation, no empathy, just pure destruction. And the scariest part? Yuji is aware of it. He knows what Sukuna is capable of. He knows what could happen if he loses control. And yet, he keeps fighting. Not for glory, not for power, but because he has no choice. Every battle is a risk, every moment a ticking bomb. Because the real monster isn't outside, it's inside him.
おばを見殺しにしても誰かを傷つけても命を奪っても
Number 2. Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Kaneki's transformation isn't just physical, it's emotional, psychological, and honestly, heartbreaking. He starts off as someone incredibly gentle, a quiet college student who loves books, avoids conflict, and just wants a normal life. But that normal life ends in a single night. A date goes wrong, very wrong. The girl he meets turns out to be a ghoul, a creature that feeds on humans. And after a brutal encounter, Kaneki is left on the brink of death. To save him, doctors perform an experimental surgery. They transplant ghoul organs into his body, and just like that, he becomes something he never wanted to be. Half human, half ghoul. At first, he resists it. He refuses to eat human flesh, tries to hold on to his humanity. But the world around him doesn't make it easy. Pain, loss, isolation, it all builds up, until finally, he's captured, tortured, broken. Days of unimaginable suffering push him beyond his limits, and then something inside him snaps. His hair turns white, his mindset changes, and the boy who once refused to hurt anyone becomes someone capable of doing whatever it takes to survive. Cold, calculated, ruthless. But here's the tragedy. That power comes at a cost, because even as he grows stronger, he loses pieces of himself, his identity, his memories, his sense of who he is. Kaneki doesn't just become a monster, he becomes someone who doesn't even know where he belongs anymore. And that's what makes his transformation so powerful. Not the strength, but the pain behind it.
何してんだ待ってどうしようこういう時は
Number 1. Izuku Midoriya, My Hero Academia. Izuku Midoriya's story starts with nothing. No power, no abilities. In a world where being born special is everything, he was born ordinary. And because of that, he was told his dream was impossible. He wanted to be a hero, but everyone, including his own idol, told him he couldn't. Still, he never gave up. Even without power, he studied heroes, took notes, analyzed every detail. And when the moment came, when someone needed help, he didn't hesitate. He ran in, not because he could win, but because someone needed saving. And that moment changed everything. Because someone saw it, the greatest hero alive. And for the first time, Izuku was chosen, given one for all, a power passed down through generations, a
a power so strong his body couldn't handle it. At first, every time he used it, it destroyed him. Broken arms, shattered legs, just to throw one punch. But he kept going, through pain, through failure, slowly learning to control it. And then, it evolves. He unlocks more abilities, not just strength, but multiple powers from previous users. Black Whip, Danger Sense, Float, each one pushing him further, making him stronger, but also pulling him away from who he used to be. Because with great power comes a weight most people can't understand. Responsibility, pressure, isolation. At some point, he stops smiling as much, stops relying on others, starts carrying everything on his own. And that's when you realize, this isn't just a hero rising, it's someone slowly sacrificing themselves for the greater good. That's what makes Deku different. His monster isn't just his power, it's how far he's willing to go, how much he's willing to lose to save everyone else.
That's what makes these transformations so unforgettable. It's never just about power. It's about the moment someone is pushed so far that they're forced to become something they never wanted to be. Atsushi learned to accept it. Zenitsu hides it behind fear. Yuji lives with it every day. Kaneki was broken by it, and Deku chose to carry it. Different paths, same question. How much of yourself are you willing to lose to become stronger? So now I want to ask you, which transformation hit you the hardest? And who do you think deserved a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe because we've got a lot more coming.